My name is Oblomei and I am Ukrainian and I am co-founder and CEO of Oblomei Foundation. We are NGO and we were founded to promote arboriculture, to create arboricultural industry in Ukraine in honor of Oblomei, who was my little brother, who died in the war with Russians, and he kind of wanted to be an arborist. He was fascinated about this profession, and it was absolutely not possible to gain these professional skills in Ukraine. So when we were thinking what we can do to honor him, to remember him, we choose this idea because it's really needed in Ukraine. We really need arboriculture to be developed, to be used in big cities, because Ukraine tend and used to be a green place, beautiful place. So this is our big mission, to create it in Ukraine. So since there is no arboriculture in Ukraine, or it wasn't almost, our mission is to develop it in different ways, in different directions. So we are trying to working on the governmental level, so to create new laws, to improve the laws we have, because if you don't have this legislation, the good professionals are not needed. So that we realized, and obviously we work on it. The second part of our job is to create professional courses to give the possibilities for our amateurs or professional arborists to learn, and also for municipalities to grow the competence to know what arboriculture is, what new practices are in Europe, like what arboricultural science can give us, because we are kind of stuck in Sovietic standards, and this is not good for our trees, for our nature. And the third thing we are developing, we kind of try to raise the knowing what trees are, because without that it's almost impossible to have to preserve trees in private sector, and private sector is actually huge, and also people need to ask the government the right practices. They need also ask professionals to do their job very professionally. So I mean, this is a very complex thing, so we are working on 3 dimensions, and I think it's not possible to do so without one of those 3. Another project we are working on right now, it's translation and adaptation of the standards of protection trees on the construction site, which is very important for Ukraine, because right now we have a lot of changes. We also have a lot of damages from Russia, obviously, and when we try to renovate something, to reconstruct something, trees are suffering because we don't know what to do with them, and people are not used to pay attention for those trees, and then they're dead in 10 years or 5 years, and we don't know why. Our big project, which we started in 2023, it's a course of tree inspector, which is very crucial for Ukraine, I think, because it's a very basic and very good methodology for everyone who works with trees. Like, it can be a landscape architect, it can be also a municipal worker, manager, it could be an arborist. They all need to understand basics about trees, what can happen with them, what kind of issues you can have, and they need to know what to do, or what kind of advice you need to ask. So I think this program is very important for Ukraine, and it's important for all of the countries, but I think Ukraine is really a very good market for this program, and my goal, the goal of our foundation, is to set it and to have as much students as we can, that these students can represent good practices, European practices, like the latest science in municipalities of small and big cities of Ukraine. Our big friend Piotr Tyszko-Chmielowicz used to say that trees are truly, it's about future, it's about hope, and working on trees right now in the middle of the war, in the middle of invasion, it's something that represents that we are standing still, and I completely agree with it. But also I want to go a little bit probably deeper, that trees are not just future, but it's also our past. When we see big trees, beautiful trees, we understand that we are not just by ourselves. We have a huge base of our ancestors, and then we understand that we need to give it to our future generations, so that we are part of something big, some big idea. So tree with its timeline, which is completely different from human timeline, is kind of a metaphor and a synonym for human families, and for me it's like something that sacred and that powerful as a metaphor. And it's truly about future, because when you plant the trees, when you plan how you plant the young trees, how you care about them, you're not thinking about yourself, which is not actually very natural to us humans. So we need to think more. We need to think in 100 years, we need to think in 50 years even. And it's something we need to change in our politics, obviously. And I think we need to shift our mentality to be better human beings, actually. So trees are very simple at the first glance, but then you understand that like you need to be more than you can be to have good trees around you, to have a good city, green city. Sam, he was a very special human being also. When we talk about trees are something special for us, and Sam, he was very special. He was very bright and sunny, and like he gave a lot to people, as trees does. And I couldn't say that trees was his like first passion in the world. No, he was very he had a very broad spectrum of interests, and he liked adrenaline, he liked everything risky. That is probably why he kind of wanted to be arborist, because it's risky and it's you need to climb, you need to be on the height, you need to work physically, but also you need to think and you need to care about something. And arboriculture and being arborist, it's a combination of a lot of techniques and things you need to know and understand. So yeah, that's something that attracted him for sure. About Sam, he was very curious about the world, and people appreciated it a lot because he was curious about them, and this is very precious, and he was very giving, as I said, very shiny, very kind to people, kind to the concept. He was very young, obviously, and this young enthusiasm gave a lot of energy and hope that we now try to preserve in our foundation and to give to people. And I can say that even there is a lot of changes that he made after his death. A lot of people who he changed, I think. So this is something, I think just great people can do it after their death.